Hello, everybody. My name is Jen Barkin, online sales coach with DConvert, and this is Online People Talking, or OPT as we like to call it. This series is dedicated to you, the new home online sales specialist, enhancing your lives and careers. We'll talk about real life challenges and solutions just for you. And today, we have the fabulous Mike Lyon and Jesse Suggs. Come on in. Come on in. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're feeling great.
Oh my gosh. I'm loving today. Honestly, I'm on my second cup of coffee. I'm ready to roll.
Jen, how are you doing?
I am doing amazing. In fact, speaking of coffee, I don't know if everybody's noticed my sign, but I'm going to show this to you because this is a mantra. Let me see. Is it in the screen?
Yeah.
Coffee in hand, big girl panties pulled up, sparkle in my eye, and a smile on my face. Yep, I'm ready for the day. Bring it on. Who's with me? If you're joining us and you've got your coffee in hand and your sparkle, give us some hearts. Say hi. We want to hear from you. Guys, do you know Tuesday was the first day of summer? Do you guys
What?
realize that? Yeah.
No.
I
Well,
mean,
hey,
It's been
Carrie.
over 100
hey, Carrie.
degrees.
Jesse's
Well,
like, how
it's
could I
definitely
not?
been hotter, so I mean, I didn't know it was officially the first day of summer. I guess I should pay attention to that.
Yeah, officially the first day of summer. And it's actually the summer solstice. And I didn't, I've always heard summer solstice, winter solstice, right? But when you actually look up the word solstice, it's actually when the sun is at a standstill. It's at the highest point and it's at a standstill. And so, we're kind of feeling like that right now.
I didn't
I
know
was
where you're
like,
going with this science, so that's good.
I
Yes, we
always
are.
gotta, I always gotta have some sort of biology lesson and everything. But that's kind of like what we're experiencing right now. Not necessarily a standstill like the sun is on summer solstice, but definitely feeling like things are slowing down. Right, things are slowing down a little bit. So, Mike, I want to ask you first, like, what are you hearing from other builder leaders across the country? What's
Nope.
happening out there?
I mean, for sure. Like and I'll get a poll from the audience. It's good to see so many of you guys on. Hello, everybody. How many of you guys would say your leads are down by at least 25%? Or actually chat out what percentage your leads are down, just so everybody can kind of see. The reality is, yes, leads are down. So in some cases, it's the volume is even half. Calls have dropped considerably,
Yeah.
and it's this shock. There's a little bit of a shock of like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality that's out there. What's interesting is if you go back and compare how this lines up, to January, it feels crazy. If you compare how it lines up to, June of 2019 or 2020, it's really just kind of down to that level, maybe just a
Yeah.
little bit more, but it feels dramatic. Yeah, Dawn even put in there versus when, and that's the question asked, like compared to what?
Yeah.
Compared to what? And so we are starting to see that and hear that, and we want to address it. Like, I don't want to be Mr. Pollyanna and go, oh, don't worry, everybody, it's going to be fun. Like, no, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but we can adjust to that market. It is an adjusting market, and we'll take care of it. I did hear from one online sales specialist who's been in the seat for a long time, who said to me, like, she was kind of, a little bit like, oh, it just feels harder and all this stuff. And Mike, I just feel like a loser if I can't set 10 appointments a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, who is telling you this? Where are you getting this from? And oh, by the way, other people on this call with you would probably really like to be setting at like 4 appointments a day. So
Yeah.
it's really a perspective thing for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
folks, and it's human nature. I totally get it. And you can see here in the audience, Tiffany says 50%, Lynn says 50%, Randy says 50%, about 50%.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to give that number. I wasn't trying to lead the witness, but that's where we're at compared to the beginning of the year. So that's where we're at, but that's not where it's going to end up. And it just means we shift and we change. And that's what we're here to talk about today with you, Jen.
Yes.
Is what are those
Yes.
things that are within your control that you can shift and change, and how can you add value?
Yeah, for sure. Jesse, what are you hearing from the online sales specialists that you're working with and coaching?
I think it's easy to say leads are down for everybody. How much just depends, but just like Mike said, it's just where we're at. And I think it's kind of freaking people out a little bit, especially being an
Mm-hmm.
employee of a company where you are used to setting a certain number of appointments or answering a certain number of calls. It's like, am I doing everything that I can be doing for my company? Is there still value in my position? And I think that's what we're going to focus on today is like, what can we be doing right now? How can we keep the momentum? And even though this is online people talking, we want to give you some solid advice and solutions to these problems. So let's
Yeah,
jump in.
absolutely.
Online
So
people solutions. I like that.
online people,
Jesse.
yeah, online people
Online
solutions.
people.
Well,
That's right.
we don't want to just talk about it, right? We want to give you some real advice. So yeah, leads are down, online sales specialists are freaking out. So let's talk about some real solutions for you. The first thing is a reality check in that your job has changed. You are not doing the same job that you were doing the last couple of years. So if you go back to crazy pandemic market and you add in, now we have a lot of uncertainty that we didn't have when in a normal market. Your role has completely changed. So what does that mean? We got to go back to some OG classics and we got to pull out all the tools in our toolbox. Because make no mistake, right now, every lead that you get, every customer that you have the ability to communicate with, they've seen Savannah on the Today Show talking about interest rates, housing crisis, inflation, all of those things, and they are coming to you, and we have to assume that they are buyers. So that's the first thing. Assume everybody is a buyer, and you got to pull out the classics. You got to do the trifecta: email, text, phone calls. Like you've got a video email. Everything has to be using all those tools. One thing that we haven't had to do in the last couple of years is really pay attention to those CRM notifications that our customers are back on our website. A lot of people are like, "Hey, I put those in a folder." Like, so they weren't even hitting my inbox because it was just so overwhelming, right? Coming in all of that stuff all the time. Now, hey, we got to pay attention to that. I don't know how many times on a Saturday as an online sales specialist, I'm at home vacuuming and I get a little ding that, Mike Lyon is back on my website, and I go, "Oh, yay." Hit the phone and call him, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about, I was looking on the website, I was thinking about you." And it's like, "Oh, it was karma. It was karma that I called you today. Let's go ahead and get you out there for that appointment." So little things like that we've just totally forgotten. Like online sales specialists I've talked to are like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that I even got those. I forgot that I was even doing that." So hit the customers with the trifecta. Brush up on your brush offs. So what I mean by that is brush up on your objection dialogues, be able to turn around that common objection that you might be getting right now of not really an objection, but that common response of, "I'm just really looking right now. I'm just kind of seeing what's going to happen." We have to know what to say because our buyers have that uncertainty right now. And so we've got to make them feel more certain about coming out and seeing our homes. And the best way to do that is just say, "No problem. I'll be sure to let them know on site that you're just looking," right? That's not a problem, right? And then they go, "Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just looking. Yes, it's fine. Everybody's good." So brush up on those brush offs, and we're going to have to put the sales back into online sales. We gotta put the chase back in. We gotta put the sales part back in. So that's the first kind of reality. What would you guys say to that? Job has
Well, I like how you
changed,
said
right?
classic, return to the classic, not the basics. Because
Yes.
I really do like, there's definitely basic things that we got to do. We call it foundational things, but
Mm-hmm.
there's also a new level of things that we can integrate and try on that have come to fruition, even though we weren't using it in the past 18 months. right? So all this
Totally.
technology, all these options, everything that we have at our fingertips, just taking it to that next level. And here's what I would say to that. Like, I know it's hard. I know it's a shift, but do it before your competitors do. Your competitors are taking a while to catch up
Yeah.
to this. Guys, some of your competitors just got rid of online sales altogether. Like, they're going to be hurting. Whoops, because this shift was so dramatic. So what would you guys chat out to your builder competitors who got rid of online sales? What would you be saying to them? And you can say, haha, that's fine too. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
I'm sorry would be what I would say.
Jesse, what else do online sales specialists need to be thinking about right now?
I just think as the market adjusts, your behaviors have to adjust with it. The foundational pieces have always been the same, but there have been some things we haven't had to do in the last couple of years. And so either the newbies haven't had to do it at all, or the veterans haven't had to do it in a really long time. And one of those is prospecting. And I know we hate hearing that word because it's just like the dreaded, like tedious work where we almost feel like we're doing more work for less money. And I just want to say you have to switch what you're thinking. This is a different job. It's not more work, it's different work. And it's part of your duty as an online sales specialist to dig up into those leads that either reached out a while ago or were teetering and saying, I'm just going to wait. Those people aren't waiting anymore. They've watched the trends happen. Like they know these are going to continue to go back up, and we know the scripts to use. You can refinance, you can do all of these things, but I think they're looking at us for advice. We're the professionals. And so if I'm a teetering on something and somebody nudges me and they say, you know, I know you were thinking about that, you should just go ahead and do it. Most of the time I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. It's like this garden hose. I have holes all in my hose. And I keep saying, I'm not going to spend $50 on a hose. This one works just fine. And my husband was like, what are you doing? Like, it costs $50. This is going to change a lot for you. And I went out and bought it. And I was like, why did I wait so long? And your buyers are waiting for the nudge too. So I know that was a silly example, but it's true. So if you don't use it, you lose it. So just get back to it.
Did you accidentally get a soaker hose, Jesse, and you got the wrong hose?
No, I actually got one of those like ones that shrink. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, shrinking hose, the magical bullet.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
That's
good. Prospecting is probably one of the most requested topics for training. You know, when we say, hey, like, what would you like more training on? Prospecting is right up there because, you know, if you're not doing it on a consistent basis or you don't have a plan, right, that, you know, we just kind of forget how to do it. So absolutely, you got to get back. You got to have a plan.
I think.
Hey, I want to encourage the whole audience about prospecting. Let me know if you're paying attention. Chat it out. I just want to hear, like, okay, Mike, prospecting. I got it. Remember, it's hard. It's harder now than it's ever been because your buyers that came in the market 3 months ago came under a whole different set of circumstances. So your results will be a little bit lower. Just remember, the harder it is to prospect, the earlier your competitors give up. I mean, period. Like they look at this and they don't do it. There's so much more they can do. Build those habits. The other thing I would also say about this is we have to go back and like rebuild the permission engine on our prospecting because we have been kind of silent to these customers because we haven't needed to prospect. So build up that permission engine, which is that frequency, that familiarity. So you're not going to get them on the phone right away. People let it go to voicemail. They got to see that effort from you out there. So I know it feels like just fruitless, but it's not. You got to build up that engine. That compound effect takes time. And so if we've let it go for a while, we got to go start tending to it. So I'm glad to see everybody here is working. Yeah, Kat says outbound calls are our best friend. Yep. And I was joking with someone the other day on the line. I said, listen, the phone used to be ringing a lot inbound, right? Like the only difference between how much time you're spending on the phone is that now you have to dial a number first, right? You still need to have that thing up there all the time. Like that's where the money is made. So keep it up.
Hey, everybody, heads up, write this down.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Jesse,
Inside.
Jesse Suggs, online sales coach extraordinaire, is going to be doing a webinar on Tuesday of next week, hosted
Oh,
by Lasso
yes.
CRM. And she's going to be really kind of diving into some of these things that we're talking about today specifically. But Jesse, give us a little heads up of what you're going to be talking about next week.
Yeah. Well, first I want to say you don't have to be a user of Lasso. So join us if you use any CRM. It's just hosted by Lasso. But I really, they put the ball in my court on like what I wanted to talk about. And I think right now OSCs and even leadership is like, okay, things are changed. We understand that. So what the heck are we supposed to do about it? Like, what do we do right now? What can my OSCs be doing to make a difference? And it's 5 things that you can do right now. And I'm going to give you a little snippet of the 5 things, and we're going to go in detail of them.
Ooh.
So the first is,
teaser.
I know. I'm coming in with the goods. It's a mindset shift. That is the first step. There's so many negative Nancy's out there right now, and I'm just going to say it. And you don't get anywhere with that attitude. So you got to switch that mindset. Add back in personalization. We have taken all of that out. So we're adding in personalization, less automation, prospecting, which we kind of touched on a little bit. The handoff. There's been so many appointments back and forth. Maybe we've gotten a little rusty on that. And building trust and overcoming objections. So lots and lots of information, but we're really going to dig in on all of those things. So I hope that you guys join us.
No, it's going to be a good one. I can't wait. Mike, what's next? What's the next thing we need to be thinking about?
Everybody get your notes out, because this is online people note taking, whatever we're going to call this. You have to protect your conversion rates. Protect those conversion rates. Everybody's kind of thinking about quantity. I'm air quotes the quantity, and let's not worry about that. Let's work on quality and protecting those conversion rates. Do not get discouraged if your like total appointments drop. Look how it matches up with the sales pace that you're trying to achieve. Again, a lot of people haven't been thinking through this, and I do understand, like, hey Mike, I still have my commission I need to think about. Okay, I get it. But I want you to think about those conversion rates and how it lines up. If you guys are trying to sell 30 homes a month or 20 homes a month, online sales should be responsible and starting the process, or coming through you, of if you're at 20, you want 10 of those. If you want 10 sales, how many appointments do we need to set based on our current appointment conversion rate? And of those, how many leads do we need to be working? And when people kind of zoom out and reverse engineer that math, they're usually not far off, or even sometimes exceeding the goals that online sales need to contribute. So protect those conversion rates. Oh, and by the way, we might have to pull some of those appointments and those conversions from older leads. It's not just new leads coming into the system this month, because yes, those leads might be down, but we still got a bucket of people over there that we need to get that permission engine going and start prospecting, that we can fill in the gaps. Okay, so maybe we're only going to be at 60 appointments this month versus 80, or 60 versus 100, or whatever it is. We can pull 10 from somewhere else. It's just going to take a little bit more work. So focus on protecting the conversion rates, and even just knowing your numbers in general. So a lot of online sales specialists are flying by the seat of their pants. They don't do their reports till the end of the month. Do some proactive stuff at the beginning. Say, this is where I need to be. I'm sitting down with my sales manager. I know what the adjusted sales goal is. By the way, they're all adjusting right now. And I'm going to make sure I match that. So, Carrie says, go to the buckets. I like that.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Can I give a short story time?
Yes.
Okay.
You do whatever you want.
It's online people story time.
Yeah. It's everything you want it to be. So we work with an amazing builder partner, and their online sales program has been developing drastically over the past year. And now that walk-in traffic is down, we have watched, without a huge change to their online sales program and what they're doing, the conversion of appointment to sale and overall company contribution jump up drastically, because OnSite has more time to actually treat online leads as those silver platter leads. So I think their overall company contribution went from like low 20s to over 50 in the last month, because they're valuing what we're sending. So just make sure you're still qualifying them just as much, and you're going to watch those conversions go even higher than they were before, which is really encouraging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I love it.
and because and you look at why that's been happening. Two reasons. One, if the reality is through these past couple of years, even when COVID started and the pandemic and everything, we saw the shift of walk-in traffic flowing through online sales. So we were managing a lot of what used to be walk-in traffic. And while as that has
Right.
started to subside and things have opened up and it's gone back to more of a normal path for customers and the customer journey, we have to re-emphasize like, hey, remember appointments that you get have gone through all the mental hurdles to even just, reach out to us in the first place.
Hmm.
We've overcome all these objections, so the value starts moving up a little bit higher, and that's a reset that you've got to have with your on-site sales team too. Is like, hey, remember, now these have really gone through the paces, really gone through the paces. All that being said, Jen has a new mantra for this too, to make sure that the sale doesn't stop with online sales. So what are we doing? Even though we've got a lot of quality appointments, what are we doing with the rest of those maybes?
Hey, maybes need to figure out their maybe on site. So when in doubt, send them out. When in doubt, send them out. Now, with an asterisk of we want to maintain the integrity of our online sales program. So communicate everything that you're learning about this customer with your on-site salesperson. If they're off budget just by, a bit and you're kind of like, I'm not quite sure, and they're a little bit on the fence, let them figure out if let them be on the fence out in front of your salesperson. But you got to communicate that information over to sales and leaders. You need to make sure that everybody's on the same page of this is how we're treating appointments right now,
Yeah, that's
and
good.
really reset and refocus on that handoff process. We talked about it earlier. Uncertainty is high. One way to really kind of lower that threat level is through the handoff process, right? So, and I know from looking at the data, I won't go into it on here, but we're not doing a great job on the handoff in most cases, as far
Yeah.
as confirming and afterwards, and that introduction and things like that. So
Yeah, I see there, Jen. There's a lot of hearts and likes. If you guys like that little comment, make sure you let her know in the
re-roll out the
socials.
handoff process, retrain on it.
Mhm.
You got to do that. Now, online sales specialist. Okay, I'm talking to you. See me? You need to come out behind the screen from your day-to-day grind, and you need to proactively start communicating more on what you're doing, what your results are. Have that 5 minutes in front of your sales team every week to talk about, hey, this is what I'm working on as far as prospecting.
Yeah,
These were how many people I called. These were the results I got. This is the community that I featured. Proactively communicate all the work that you're doing. Right now is a great time. I mean, when in a harder market, this is where you guys shine. You're
Mhm.
adding so much value to your organization, being on the front line and being able to do this. And remember, you have the skills to be able to do this. I can remember standing in front of my salespeople when I was an online sales specialist. It was hard, man. We had to do everything to try to get these people to engage with us and get an appointment. And I can remember standing in front of them and saying, "Hey, I featured Happy Acres this week in my long-term prospecting, and I called this many people, and I did a video at the community, and I was able to get a couple of appointments from this or whatever." And salespeople were like, "Oh my God, that's awesome. Can you feature our community? Can you come out? Can you do a quick video with me? Can you get some appointments going?" They will think that is the most amazing thing ever. And it's relatively easy for you to do because you're a superstar, and it's magical. So proactively communicate your work. You've got to go above and beyond right now, above and beyond the call of duty. What do I mean by that, Mike? You have some thoughts on that, going above and beyond.
well, yeah, I think it's celebrating the successes and just going back to what you're talking about, the prospecting. Like success may look a little bit different in the meantime. I really just want to
Yeah.
encourage everybody. Like we're talking about how hard prospecting was, but still, the fact that you're doing that prospecting is success. You got to celebrate the right behaviors. You got to focus on the right behaviors. And what we've kind of been using lately, just as an analogy, is the Olympic athlete, right? You think about that Olympic athlete who trains like for the big show, the big
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big thing is every 4 years. So in the meantime, yes, there's worlds and there's trials and there's other things, but they're putting in all this work. And to them, the success is like getting the gains, getting the speed up, getting the power somewhere else, changing this, changing their velocity, whatever, all these little things that they're working on that leads to that end result. And I really do, excuse me, I do think, I get all choked up. I do think,
Verklempt.
thinking about those Olympians, I do think that, you know, it's going to be harder probably for the next 60 to 90 days. It's going to feel a little fruitless because we are dealing with seasonality on top of a market that's trending a little bit down, on top of like everybody's going on vacations because they haven't been on one in 2 years. It doesn't matter what the gas prices is or the plane tickets are. And so it feels like, where did everybody go? That's where they are, but still do the work in the meantime, because it starts to build. And then what you'll see is it cracks open when things start settling down. So I really do want you guys to think about that. And another analogy for you is like, you might have to do some stuff for free. Like it feels like it's free work. It's not going to lead to an appointment. It's not going to lead to a sale. And that's what we do when we're starting up this engine. Like do a little bit of the free stuff, but let everyone, like Jen was saying, know that you're doing it, communicate it. Because if not, they start pointing and say, where are our leads and where are our sales and what's happening? Give me my appointments. Just hand it over to me. Let me take care of it. It's like, no. We're going to keep this going. We're going to keep this engine going, but let everybody know. So just focus on those right behaviors and the rest will figure itself out.
Yeah. Jesse, final reality advice check from you.
I think, you know, the first point that I made earlier was mindset shift. I think we really do have to retrain our brain right now because this is a different job. Just like I mentioned earlier, the power's kind of back in the buyer's hands. They're holding their cards kind of close. They're not sharing all the information that they would. So we have to retrain ourselves on how to build trust with the customers instead of just like bullet point asking like all of the qualifying questions right up from the front. Like you have to build that trust and earn the answers that they give you before you try to schedule the appointment, or they will give you objections. They all kind of go hand in hand. And my last thing is that I just want to encourage you that I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, but you hold the key to all the leads in the system. And so while things are down, it's your time to shine. And shout out to Elena Money Garmin. She came to our leadership session that we had and said something that just kind of stamped a place in my heart because it was so true right now. And she said, chaos creates opportunity. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of true. But then the second part of it was focus on the opportunity and not the obstacles, because we all have obstacles right now. So it's like, how do you think about these things and how do you make sure that you move forward in a positive way? So that's my little piece of encouragement and advice.
I love that. Yeah. Mike, what's the final piece of advice as we move into the next couple months?
Well, I guess I would like to throw this out to the crowd because I see how many of you guys are on here who are experienced in the seat. So everybody chat out what their mantra is now, what their mindset is now, what they are saying to themselves to keep themselves motivated, or what you would tell a new online sales specialist who maybe started 12 months ago and has never been through any kind of a cyclical real estate market. What would you say to them? So I want to get your feedback here too, because I think this is great. My advice really to everybody out there would be kind of piggybacking on that chaos creates opportunity. In times of uncertainty, everybody's looking for someone to just go, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. We got this. It's not going to change everything overnight, but here's what we know to do. And so I would say lead with your activity, lead with your numbers, lead with going back and really paying close attention to the foundational things that work in any market, up, down, or sideways. And then don't be afraid to communicate that out, right? So everybody gets stressed, and some people overfunction and some people underfunction. And you just got to recognize kind of who you're dealing with. But in stressful and chaotic times, people want calm and decisive folks, and that can definitely come from online sales. So that would be my final piece of advice.
My final piece of advice to you guys is comes from a quick story. I was talking with somebody last week who is coming off of being extremely busy, like too many leads to even handle, to a more manageable amount. And she had vulnerability with me, and she said, I honestly just don't know how to structure my day because I'm not as busy, right? When you're so busy, it's just like you're just reactive and you're just like that hamster on the wheel, and you don't even think about how to structure your day. You just do. But then when you find yourself with a little bit more bandwidth, which I think we all do have right now in most cases, what do I focus on? I know that seems kind of simple to say, but it's a real, I mean, if anybody's feeling that way, let us know. And what my advice to her was, in any market, you want to always focus on the four fundamental things in online sales, which is speed, how quickly we're getting back to our customers. We can always do a better job of that. Your process, move from automation to personalization, adjust your process, make sure you're doing the full process with every lead that comes in, meaning personalized video emails, personalizing that day one. Okay. No more, just set it and forget it mentality. Messaging, make sure you go back, look at your messaging, make sure it's more encouraging engagement, not just like answer these 5 questions and then I'll see where I need to put this person, which is kind of what we have been doing. Encourage engagement, permission-based selling. I'm here to help you. And persistence. Make sure that you are tackling that prospecting. You're being persistent in front of your customers on a regular basis, because if you do all of those things and you focus on all of those things, you will win. You will win this market. Whatever market you're in, you'll win. So that's my encouragement to you.
I love it.
Yes. Hey, on a side note, since we were together on Opt Live, we had Online Sales Academy graduation. Do we have Academy members on here? I'd love to give them a shout out. They just graduated. If you were on here and you have graduated from the Do You Convert Online Sales Academy, make yourself known. High fives to you. That's so awesome. And we are planning another academy in the fall, so stay tuned for information on that. And for all of our other tips, tricks, blogs, information, free resources, you can definitely visit doyouconvert.com and get all that information. Market Proof Marketing, podcast, of course. And, in case you're like, well, I'm not in marketing, Jesse, Mike, and I are regular attendees on that podcast. So we do talk online sales stuff on there. So make sure you're listening to that too. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I love the feedback today. You guys are all in it to win it. So it's fun to create this little community around all these high performing online sales specialists. Send out the love, chat out the love, like everybody's little messages that they put out there, and connect with those folks too. So,
and if there is a topic that you would like to hear more about, you want us to talk about, chat that out too, or send me an email, jen@doyouconvert.com. I want to hear from you. If there's something that you want to hear about, want us to talk about, definitely let us know. We are here to serve you and just help you be as successful as possible. So thank you guys so much.
That's great. Tina sent us, and I got a direct message from Kelsey too. They go, well, you forgot to say what else we need in this market. We need a little bit more cowbell. I got to go get my cowbell. Here,
go get your cowbell. What are you doing? We definitely need more cowbell.
It's so far
What's happening?
My new office. There it is, everybody. Some more cowbell for you. Thank you, Jen and Jesse, for always doing such a great job. I'm giving them a public cowbell. They're they coach so many online sales specialists day in and day out, and it has been everybody's like a little bit of a freak out moment, and you guys handle it with such calm and patience. I get very rare reports of any crying, there's not a lot of crying anymore. I mean,
There's
so
no
you guys must
crying
be
in
doing
online
something right.
sales. No crying
Right.
in online sales. Nope. We're not doing that.
All right. Good to see
All
everybody.
right.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Thanks, guys.